In this video, we will be solving triangles using the law of cosines. So the law of cosines is useful for when you are given information of the form side angle side or side side side. So you can tell at a glance that this is the side 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 situation. So let's go. Let's start by drawing our triangle. So here's angle A, angle B, and angle C. So we are given that side A is 32, and side B is 38, and side C is 46. So that means that we need to find the measure of angle A, and the measure of angle B, and the measure of angle C. That looks like a C, but you know it's an angle sign, so don't judge me. Once we find these three values, we will have solved the triangle. So we might as well just start with angle A. Now, if you're going to find angle A, you need to start off with the version of the law of cosines that starts off A squared. So A squared, that's side A squared, is equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine of angle A. Alright, well, we know A, B, and C, so we know everything in this formula except for angle A, and that's what we're going to find. So if I substitute these values in, that's going to give me 32 squared is equal to 38 squared plus 46 squared minus 2 times 38 times 46 times the cosine of angle A. To get cosine A by itself, we need to subtract these two terms and then divide by everything in the front. So first, subtracting these two terms. That's going to give us 32 squared minus 38 squared minus 46 squared. Now let's divide by the rest of this in front of cosine A. Alright, so that's going to look like this. Put it all over negative 2 times 38 times 46. So that should get cosine A by itself. Now we don't really want cosine A, we want the measure of angle A. So if we want the measure of angle A, we really need to do the inverse cosine of all of this. And then that will give us the measure of angle A. So go ahead and put all of this in your calculator at once to find the measure of angle A. Alright, so I got 43.498 degrees. Now let's go ahead and find the measure of angle B in the same exact way. If I want to find the measure of angle B, I need to start off with B squared. So B squared is equal to A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cosine of angle B. Now, B squared, what was that again? So that's 38 squared is equal to 32 squared plus 46 squared minus 2 times 32 times 46 cosine of angle B. So to get cosine B by itself, I need to subtract these two terms and then divide by everything else in front of cosine B. So if I subtract, I'm going to have 38 squared minus 32 squared minus 46 squared. So there I've subtracted these two terms. And now I'm going to divide. I'm going to divide by everything in front of cosine B. So that's going to be all over negative 2 times 32 times 46. And that should equal cosine of B. But really we want angle B, not cosine of angle B. So if we want angle B, we need to find the inverse cosine of all of this. So I will do the inverse cosine of all of this, and then that's going to give me the measure of angle B. So go ahead and put all of this in your calculator all at once. So I got 54.824 degrees. Now we can easily find the measure of angle C by subtracting these two angles from 180. I got 81.678 degrees. And we have now solved triangle number 5. Alright, let's do one more. For this video, let's go ahead and solve triangle number 6. I could draw a diagram of this, even though the side ones are pretty boring. Alright, angle A, angle B, angle C. And here we have side A is 2, and side B is 7, and side C is 8. So, of course, that means we need to find the measure of angle A, the measure of angle B, and the measure of angle C. Okay, it doesn't really matter which one we find first, but I'm going to go ahead and find the measure of angle A. If I want to find the measure of angle A, I need to start off with the version of the formula that starts with a squared. A squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine of angle A. So let's see. So it's going to be 2 squared is equal to 7 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 7 times 8 times the cosine of angle A. If I want to get cosine A by itself, I need to subtract these two terms and then divide by everything in front of cosine A. So let's start by subtracting these two terms. So that'll be 2 squared minus 7 squared minus 8 squared. And then now here I'm going to divide by everything in front of cosine A. So I'm going to be dividing by negative 2 times 7 times 8. So that should leave the cosine of angle A all by itself. But since we really want angle A, not the cosine of A, then what we need to do is to take the inverse cosine of all of this. Alright, if I take the inverse cosine of this, then that should give me the actual measure of angle A. So go ahead and put this entire expression in your calculator. Alright, so I got 13.291 for the measure of angle A. We'll find the measure of angle B exactly the same way. Since we are finding angle B, then we will start off with b squared. So b squared is equal to a squared plus c squared minus 2ac cosine of angle B. So 7 squared equals 2 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 8 times the cosine of angle B. In order to get cosine of B by itself, we need to subtract these two terms and then divide by everything else in front of cosine B. So let's start by subtracting these two terms. So I will have 7 squared minus 2 squared minus 8 squared. Now let's divide by everything in front of cosine B. So divide by negative 2 times 8. Alright, that will leave us with cosine B. But, of course, we really want the measure of angle B by itself. To find the measure of angle B, we need to do the inverse cosine of all of this, and then that should give us the measure of angle B. I have two B's now. So go ahead and put all of this in your calculator at once to find the measure of angle B. So I got 53.576 degrees. Now we can easily find the measure angle C by subtracting these two angles from 180. So I got 113.133 degrees. And there we have solved triangle number 6. And that's going to do it for this video. I will see you on the next video.